Afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the next installation of the Admiral Markets Trading Spotlight webinar series. My name's Paul, and I'm here today to talk to you about how a pro trader uses MT4 in his own trading. It's great that you're all here with us today. We appreciate that there's rather extenuating circumstances that we find ourselves, but we here at Admiral Markets, great for you to be here. We hope you're all safe and well wherever in the globe you are joining us. And if you've got quite a lot of experience of using MT4, please just give us your own thoughts in the chat box, or if you're watching this on the YouTube or Facebook page or Traders Yard page later on, and you find it useful what we're talking about, then please give us a like, or if you've got a question, please just drop it in there. We're always keen to hear what our attendees have got to think or say, or if you've got particular ideas that you'd like us to cover in the near future, please drop a comment there in the chat box or in the question box, and we'll be glad to engage with you and try and make these sessions as helpful and as useful as possible. So what am I going to talk about today? Well, MT4 is a very popular trading tool, and I'm going to give you just a little bit of an insight into how I use it. And it might be a little bit different from what you're expecting, but what I'll talk about how and why I set up my own templates. Why do I bother creating profiles? What do I actually gain from that? How do I use Fibonacci and the Fibonacci tools in my own particular trading? And are there any other particular tricks that I can pass on to you that will help you in your own trading by being able to sort of get the most out of MetaTrader 4? So for those who don't know me, my name's Paul Wallace. Okay, I've traded for a long while now. Okay, and I've been fortunate to trade for hedge funds, institutions, and for clients. Primarily, I trade FX indices and commodities on a kind of dominant sort of trend basis for my swing trades, and I'm a mean reversion trade on my intraday trading. And Admiral Markets, as you can see there, okay, Admiral Markets is, they're pretty much a global Forex and CFD broker, okay? They're licensed and regulated across a wide range of environments, provide competitive spreads, and also MT4 and MT5, which is available from your phone, your desktop, or your browser. And if you want to learn more about that, then please, get in touch with the account representative, and they'll be very happy to help guide you. But today, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about MT4, and in particular how I use it. Okay, I consider myself a manual discretionary trader. What does that mean? Is that I have a wide range of trading methods that I will employ as I see fit within the markets, and I am for the most part a manual trader, as in I am identifying my own trades. I'm actually putting my own trades onto platforms and letting them play out. Okay, so I'm going to talk about how do I utilize elements of MT4 to help me with my own trading decisions, and what are some of the simple routines that we can use to help ourselves as trader, and how can we set ourselves up to spend less, not more, screen time, which might be a bit different from what you're expecting. And as I said, we'll look at all these and other elements today. So, I appreciate we've got a wide range of experience in the room for these sessions, okay? And it's always great because we get lots of different interaction. But it would help me if you could just tell me, how much experience you have with your own trading through MT4. Have you traded for just, for a few weeks, for a few months, or have you been trading for many years using MT4? Okay, that if you could just put that in the chat box, that would be helpful. Just gives a little bit of feedback to me, so I can see what kind of what's the best level to help pitch it, so you can get the most value from today's session. But most people know MT4. Okay, it's ubiquitous. Okay, it's a completely ubiquitous trading platform that is seen across the globe, and has become this sort of this juggernaut within the sort of trading industry. And that means it's most people will have had experience of it. Okay, most people will have traded through it at one part. Okay, in their trading careers. Okay, and so hopefully that it's a case of this will help you, as I say, just make the most out of this sessions that you've had here. Okay, so I think that's how Sandra says, feeling positive today. That's great. in the present climate that we find ourselves, okay, feeling positive is a bonus. We'll take that. So Justine says she's been using just MT4 for a month. Great, Justine, this session will help you enormously. Plarman says he's been using MT4 for about 3 years now, so he'll have had some good experience, and you may have some ideas, little tips or hints that you find yourself. Please please feel free to put them into the chat box. Okay, I think it's great for people to share. I don't consider myself the world expert on MT4. I just use certain elements of it that help me. Okay, and that's what we're here to talk about and share today. So, as I said there, I'm sure there are people out there, okay, there's probably real tech wizards out there who probably understand MT4 and MT5 at a greater depth than myself. Remember, I see MetaTrader, it's just a tool, okay? It's a tool to help me get the most out of my trading, okay? I don't need to understand every single element of the functionality on MT4, okay? It's like I've put there, like any tool, you have to know how to use it best. Okay, how can it actually help you in making your trading decisions? It's not going to fix poor trading in itself, all right? And that's not a complaint about MT4. That is a comment about all trading, okay, all trading platforms, whether it is a free ubiquitous trading platform like MT4, or you're paying, a sort of a couple of $1,000s a month for a Bloomberg terminal at the other end of the spectrum, okay. Platforms will not fix poor trading in themselves, okay. That is something that is, that has to be worked on constantly, and what we're covering in the Trading Spotlight series. And you'll see some fantastic sessions from my colleagues Marcus and Jens talking about other areas and elements of not only trading but also trading using MT4. But what it can do is, if you're organized, it can help you make more efficient use of your time. And that's actually important, because I recognize that, many of the traders who here joined us, they, some of them will be full-time traders, but others, they're trading around, a job or other commitments, or a particular, a business, another business that they may be working. Okay, so it's about to effectively to sort of work there in terms of being organized, so you can help make the most efficient use of your time. So that's what I'm going to focus a lot on today, is look at how I organize MT4 to help me make more use of my time, okay, better use of my time, which allows me to trade more efficiently. And that's what we're always looking and working towards. So Anthony says there, yep, he's been 2 months at MT5. Will that make a difference? There will be an element of difference, Anthony, because MT5 is, it's a different generation, okay, from MT4. A lot of similarities between both MT4 and MT5 platforms in terms of their functionality, but there will be elements that we'll talk about here that may not necessarily relate completely to MT5. But what you will find is that on the Admiral Markets website and in the Trading Spotlight webinar series, there are elements that are touching upon MT5 as well. And Joseph is asking, is it better to start with MT4 for Forex, or am I okay to start with MT5? Well, what we'll be saying is that you're actually, whether you're starting with MT4 or MT5 is absolutely fine. Okay, as I said, it's to begin with, it's about you actually learning how to trade, okay, and learning about the mechanics of becoming the best trader that you can be. And so whether it's out on MT4 or MT5 I personally don't think there's that much of a difference between it, okay, as someone who is learning how to trade. However, some people who will want to go down a particular route in terms of building algos, or particularly encoding particular elements, well, that will have a difference between whether you're using MT4 or MT5, and that's really outside of the scope of this particular session. But as I said, if you go onto the Admiral Markets website, there's a plethora, okay, of resources and insight and webinars and educational pieces that can help you understand the kind of almost like the kind of the fundamentals of MT4 and MT5 themselves. But good questions there. Thank you for that. Keep them coming. It's we want to help in these particular sessions. So what we'll talk about is that if you are, as I said, if you are new to MetaTrader, you're new to trading indeed, as I said, there are some fantastic resources on the Admiral Markets website and in the Trading Spotlight archive. Lots of different ways to utilize MT4. Okay, there's MT4 has a huge amount of functionality, but today I'm just going to focus primarily on how manual discretionary traders use these tools. This session is not for kind of for algo traders or for traders looking to do testing. Okay, there are separate sessions that you will find in the archive and find in the role of Trading Spotlight webinars. This is just to help manual discretionary traders. Okay, traders who work their own platform. Okay, look to identify their own setups, look to place their own trades and manage their own trades. Okay, so you're as a manual discretionary trader. What you also have, okay, as clients of Admiral Markets, okay, you also have access to the Admiral Markets Supreme Edition, okay, which has a multitude of exciting add-ons. And there are videos in the Trading Spotlight archive that primarily deal with some of the elements that you can get with Supreme Edition, and I sort of I would definitely recommend that you go and sort of watch them in the archive. There are some absolutely fantastic elements there that will actually help you make the most of the Supreme Edition, and I have elements of it I use in my own trading because it's a fantastic suite of tools that Admiral Markets are providing for their particular clients. So check the Admiral Markets website. Okay, check the Trading Spotlight YouTube channel for videos on how to make the most of the Supreme Edition. And if you still need a little bit of help or advice, then please get in touch with your account representative, and they'll be happy to guide you to help you make the most of MT4 and Supreme Edition and MT5 and the whole suite of tools that Admiral Markets provide for their clients. So let's talk about how I set up MT4. Okay, what do I use it for? How do I have my normal setup? All right, and why would I have normal setup? Well, as we go through this session, you'll learn and understand a little bit more about that. But one of the things, and I touched upon it a little bit earlier, there is that actually I'm a great believer in some respects that less is more as a trader. There is a huge amount of tools, tactics, elements of technology that you can utilize in MT4. But actually it becomes easy to become almost like overloaded. As a general rule, humans can deal with about 5 to 9 bits of data or information coming at them. Okay, so let's split the difference and say 7 bits of information. So very often what you'll find is traders just will, when they're setting up their platform, and this could be any platform, whether it be Bloomberg or MT4. Okay, they basically just want to utilize everything that is there on the platform. Okay, but actually that doesn't necessarily help. In some respects that can actually be quite detrimental, because what it does is you just get overwhelmed, you get overloaded, and so either you make no decisions because you're overwhelmed, or you make poor decisions because actually you're interpreting too much data in the wrong way. But for me, my standard, what I'm just looking at is I will have 8 charts set up like there, as you can see, and on the top left I'll have the market watch, which is it's not something I'm really looking at every moment of the day. Okay, it's just there to help me if I particularly need to look at a platform, a particular instrument, my apologies, that I just want to look at. But actually the bottom left is I do want to see the data window there, and what we're going to do is once we've gone through a few slides, I'll switch across to the platform, because of course I appreciate it's a little bit easier, a little bit more intuitive to see when you actually see me doing it. But whenever you see my charts here, okay, whenever you see my MT4 open up here on Trading Spotlight or any of the other webinars we do with Admiral Markets, this is what normally how I have mine own particularly set up. Okay, I'll have a profile with 8 charts, all with the same template which you're about to find, and bottom left I want the data in it, because that is actually important to me. Okay, as a manual discretionary trader, I want to make sure I can get the actual sort of data, okay, on the open, the high, the low, the close, where the moving averages are. Okay, what was the close on particular elements or indicators. Okay, so I want to have that information close to hand, because I need that for my trading decisions. So let's start with kind of one of the sort of simplest elements. Okay, is that just using a template. Okay, I appreciate that some of the people here joining us will be quite happy in understanding what a template is. For others, like Justine, who's only maybe been with us for a month, okay, it's kind of a new element. And as I said, we'll switch across to looking at it in the live charts. But, I use templates an awful lot, okay, and I have lots of different templates set up on the MT4 platform, which I'll show you. So I have different templates for whether I'm position trading, whether I'm swing trading, whether I'm intraday or scalping, because it saves me time and it provides consistency. Remember what I said before? One tip: less is more when it comes to your charts. Okay, all right. It's very easy when you're new. Okay, because and I see this. I see new traders and they've got they open the charts and they have they've got like 20 different moving averages, and they'll have Bollinger Bands, and they'll have Keltner channels, and they'll have PSAR, and then they'll have the CCI and the MACD, okay, and the RSI, etc., 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 etc. Okay, they have a whole host of these elements in place, and it's, as I said earlier, it's almost as like it overwhelms the trader because there's just so much information coming out that they're actually unable to make a sound decision. But having a range of templates, and actually, literally, as you can see there, let's just use the old magical drawing tools, under my template thing, and I'll show you all how to do this in a moment. Is that I have a whole range of them. Okay, I have a whole range of templates, so I can set up a chart really quickly, just like that. Okay, to see me what I want to see. Okay, it gives me an element of consistency in it. And here's another thing: it almost kind of focuses my mind. So when I have when I'm putting in a template for intraday trading, it kind of almost focuses my mind to say, right, okay, I'm in intraday trading mode here. I'm not looking for swing trades on the 4-hour chart. I'm not looking for position trades on the daily and the weekly. That template is intraday. This instrument looking at, I'm in intraday trading frame mindset at the moment. That's what we're particularly looking at. The next thing that once I've got templates set up is that, of course, that I want to have profiles. Okay, and I'll show you in a moment if you're completely new, is that I organize my chart by profiles, because this allows me to take a snapshot of my markets, scan for setups, look for strong correlations. Okay, and I'll show you how I'll do that, and identify when correlations are breaking down. That's an important element for me as well, and it can help me identify leaders and laggards. So overall, they allow me to be far more efficient in using my time and allowing me to focus on the right instruments. Once again, you can see here, I have lots of, I'll show you, on the platform, okay, is that, I have, lots of different profiles, okay, for each of the kind of major FX currencies. I've got ones for commodities, ones for crypto, ones for equities, ones for indices, okay, so that it allows me to just very quickly make the most efficient use of my time when I want to just look at either a particular instrument or a range of instruments to give me a market snapshot of what's going on. And as we know, in these particular moments, being able to get a quick grasp on what's happening in these fast moving markets and volatile times, that is enormously helpful to me, ladies and gentlemen. So for example, here is this is a profile. Okay, this is a profile of commodities. Okay, so and I'll show you this live. So you can see, once again, I've got my 8 charts. Okay, I've got gold. Okay, got silver. I've got West Texas, WTI, Brent. Okay, oil, palladium here. Okay, platinum, natural gas. Okay, here, and then I have here the dollar index. For those of you new to trade, why would I have the dollar index? Well, of course, all of these elements, all these commodities, they are priced in US dollar. So understanding the relationship between the US dollar and these commodities starts to become quite interesting, quite important to me. So, but very quickly, I have, as I said, I can just punch in my profile for commodities, and I very quickly get a bit of a very quick snapshot, all right, on what I think is going on in the commodities market. All right, so, and if I want to do any more sort of detailed analysis, well, then I can quickly just drop into these kind of the major instruments that I'm following. So it just makes things a bit slicker, a bit faster, and much more useful for myself to actually work with. One of the other elements that is actually quite useful for me, as I said, is less is more. Is that MT4 has the ability for you to set alerts, okay? And it's I like to do that, okay? Sometimes with intraday trade, sometimes with swing trading. Is that I identify particular levels or areas that I'm interested in, and then I can just use the alarms function. And we'll quickly look at that later on the platform. It's quite a simple tool, all right? But this way, what it means is I can leave the screens, okay, and I can also avoid the temptation to overtrade, because if you're sat there all day, okay, then sometimes you just get a bit bored. You just feel like, oh, maybe I should just take a trade. I'm a bit bored. There's actually no, this helps me, okay. I can just effectively set an alert, okay, that I'm in this case interested in, I don't know, 86.30, and when price gets there, okay, it'll set, I know there's an alarm there, and it will alert me, okay, to that, and then I can come back to my screen, okay, even if it's just merely swiveling from the other side of my desk to have a look at my trading computer, that allows me to do that, okay. It just allows me to not have to be right in front of that screen for every single tick, because that doesn't actually help you either as well in the long run. What I also put in there is, MT4 has a whole range of hotkeys there. So if you're watching here at the moment, you might want to just take a quick print screen of that, because there's a whole wide range of just literally hotkeys that you'll learn to quickly use. Okay, that will actually help you just quickly navigate around. Okay, or do particular elements. All right, that you might particularly want to do. So whether that be like enabling crosshairs, or showing the open, high, low, close line. Okay, which is sort of showing the hide in the grid. Okay, there's quite a lot of them there, and I'll show you elements of that. But yeah, if you're new to MT4, okay, you might want to just take a print screen of that page, just so you can actually sort of pick it and punch it up on your wall to help you until it becomes almost kind of intuitive in how you use it. And one of the kind of other elements is a fib tool. Now, I use a little bit of Fibonacci in my trading, not a massive. I wouldn't consider myself a Fibonacci trader, but I will use elements of it. And one of the things that's been really, really helpful for me is just a very simple tool that basically allows me to put the price values on the fib tool. Now, some of you might be saying, well, what does that actually mean, Paul? Well, what we've got here is when you draw use the fib tool, okay, to sort of draw, whether it be a retracement, whether it be an extension on your charts, okay. So in this particular case, I've drawn it, okay, on this candle here. Well, normally what it does here is normally you can put in what kind of Fibonacci retracements, okay, that you're particularly interested in, which is all well and good. Like we've got here, this is like the 161, okay, that'll be the 161 extension. Okay, but what this little tool here, and you can see the kind of the sort of what you need to do there on the left hand side of that of this slide, is by doing that, what it actually does is it adds in, okay, it adds in the kind of price values on the MT4 tool. Okay, hopefully you can see that. So for me as a manually discretionary trader, that helps me enormously, because very quickly I can just draw my fib tool over the candle or the bar that I'm interested in, and I can very quickly work out where my entry is going to be, where my stop loss is likely to go, and also where my target is likely to go. I've got those numbers, so I can quickly and rapidly, okay, work out where I need to put them in onto the platform, but also I can do my position sizing. So I'm ensuring that I'm, on every single trade that I am performing really good risk management, and that's crucial for any trading, but especially in the volatile times that they are living in. Well, then invariably it becomes even more important. So it's actually a very, very simple tool, but it helps me enormously, okay, in many, many ways. And I'll show you, just to have the kind of the numbers on there, just helps me pick out very, very quickly where my entry, where my stop loss will be, where my target will be. And that just helps me helps me a bit more efficient, okay. And that's what I'm saying, just help me be a bit more efficient, a little bit just kind of slicker in the way that I operate when I come into the charts, because I don't want to be spending all day in front of my charts, okay. Trust me, I've worked for funds, I've done that, okay. It's here I want to just do very kind of short focused bursts in front of the charts, okay. And anything that can help me just make that a bit more efficient, I'm all in favor of. So, in terms of how a pro trader uses MT4, well, one of the most important elements of good trading is ensuring that you keep good records of your trades, okay. I think Dr. Alexander Elder said, you know, show me a trader with good records and I'll show you a good trader. And that was his quote, and he's absolutely spot on. Okay, in all my years of trading myself and working with traders, is that the traders who keep good records of what they've been doing are the ones who develop the fastest, okay, and the ones who actually become the best traders. So, you know, how do you use MT4 to help you with that? Well, you know, MT4 allows you the opportunity to annotate on your charts, okay. So, you know, what you should be doing is it allows you to keep a view of your trading history on the chart, okay, which also helps when it comes to keeping good records. And you kind of hopefully, let's see, drawing tool, you can just, you know, see how, you know, I've kind of been able to sort of just draw on there, okay, of my on the charts. Okay, in that particular case, right, what was your entry, Paul? What was your stop loss? What was your target? Okay, what was the actual trade setup? So that, you know, it allows me to basically quickly annotate those the chart, so that I have a reminder of what I did, how that trade went, because that, as I said, all sort of goes towards keeping good charts, and that's what's important to me, because it leads on to the next point, which is about, you know, once you've annotated your charts, okay, with your trade details, then good traders will always ensure that they keep good records. Remember this, Alexander Elder said, okay, show me a trader with good records and I'll show you a good trader. So MT4 allows you the opportunity to take screenshots of your charts, very simple, okay, and you should take them of every single trade you do. Preferably, you should be taking one before the trade, okay, as you know, as it's setting up, and also after the trade, okay. Then what you can do is you can drop that into, whether it be Google Slides or a PowerPoint, okay. You can create a slideshow of your trades that shows your annotations, okay, in order to be able to review them when necessary. It becomes a simple tool to help you review what you're seeing in markets, okay. This might sound, it might sound quite simple, you know, but I assure you, it will help you improve as a trader, and you'll be surprised how many people don't do it, how many people avoid it because they think, oh, it's just, oh, it sounds like a bit of admin, Paul, it sounds a bit dull, it sounds a bit boring, oh, I'm not so sure about that. Let me assure you, okay, all right, I have never met a trader who has been long-term consistently successful as a trader who doesn't keep good records of the trades. And so use MT4 to help you do that easier, okay, help it to be a little bit more efficient in the way that you do that. So, in conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, you know, MetaTrader 4 is still, you know, it's a valuable and useful trading tool. And, you know, and I use the word still because MT4 has been around for many, many years, probably around about 15 years or so now, okay? So it's a valuable and useful trading platform. Part of that reason is because, as I said, it's ubiquitous, it's everywhere. Also, there is a whole wider range of plugins that you can sort of, you know, stick into your platform to help you, okay? There are still many, many tools within the platform, and as I said, there's a wide community that are providing additional plugins for whatever your trading desires may be. But in terms of becoming like a pro trader, part of that, of helping yourself, is being just a little bit organized, a bit better organized, a little bit smarter in the way you're using the platform. Part of it, and you've heard me talk about this all the way through all the videos I've done for you know, for Admiral Markets, okay, is about building simple routines into the way you trade, okay, and using templates and profiles. They can help you with that, all right. Utilizing the simple tools in MT4 can help you improve your trading performance, and as always, practice makes perfect. So with that in mind, okay, let's take a little look at live markets. We'll transfer across it. I appreciate it's easier to understand when we show you how we're doing it in live, okay. So it's a you know, for those of you who want you know, additional support and help from you know, the kind of wider trading community, well then please, you know, please feel free to come and join us in the trading spotlight group on tradersyard.com, tradersyard.com/group/312. I'll be there this afternoon, okay, to sort of help answer your questions. My colleagues Marcus and Jens, they put up some excellent posts in there, you know, in there most days, okay. So there's a real, you know, you have the opportunity to basically ask questions and get some help and support from experienced traders. So you're very welcome to join us in there in that community. And also don't forget to join us next time, okay? So on Wednesday, 1st of April, join my colleague Marcus to learn about trading seasonal patterns, including, you know, what are seasonal patterns, okay? What are some seasonal patterns in particular popular assets, and how traders can trade each of these patterns. As I said, it's Wednesday, April the 1st, okay? Check your inbox for the web link, or head over to that link to register for the live Trading Spotlight webinar series. As always, as I said, there's lots of analysis and education at admiralmarkets.com. There's also lots of tools for MT4, how you to get the most out of it. So please make sure you utilize that. And as always, you can contact us with hello@admiralmarkets.com on email. youtube.com/admiralmarkets. There's a plethora of great videos on there in the Trading Spotlight webinar series, and also on facebook.com/admiralmarketsglobal. Well, thank you for joining us for that slide part. I hope you found it useful. There's a couple of things that can just help you just be a little bit slicker, a little bit more efficient in the way that you utilize MT4 and help that help you in your own trading endeavors. Let's switch across to the charts. We've got about 5-10 minutes, so we'll switch across to the charts and I'll show you, on the platform how we can utilize that, and how we can utilize what we've talked about and hopefully just help you set up your own MT4 just a little bit better. So if you'll just bear with us a moment, we'll switch across to the charts and we'll have a look. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, hopefully you can see my slides, or see the charts there. Okay, let's here we go. Let's have a look at that. Sorry, it just took a little while to load up there to be ready, but as I said, this is how I like to have my MT4 set up. Okay, so as I said, it's a I've just got the 8 charts there across, which you can utilize the sort of the window button there to sort of tile them for you and arrange them as you wish. I have the market watch box up here. Some people have the navigator tool. I personally don't find that really useful for me, day to day. But as I said, down on the left, having the data window helps me enormously as well. Okay, that helps me just make sure that I can find the details, and the data that I'm looking at. If let's just go to this profile here is a crypto profile. Okay, you can see at the bottom, and so not unsurprisingly, I've got a lot of the major crypto pairs. But let's have a little look at let's go across to sort of indices, shall we? So we'll just have a little look at that, because we've got quite a wide range here. Okay, so this, as I said, this helps me. I know that I'm in my indices profile, okay, and I'll show you. We'll go very sort of slowly through how we set up these templates, profiles, alerts, etc. I have here on my indices profile, okay, here on my daily charts, okay, I've got the Dow Jones here, the S&P 500, the NASDAQ. This is the US Treasuries. Then here in the bottom left, I've got the DAX 30, the Nikkei 225, the Australian, and the ASX, and the FTSE here, okay. And the whole idea is for me to be able to have a snapshot of the global indices, okay. Remember what I was saying is that very quickly, I can just look for correlations. I can look for when they're actually working really well. I can work for when they're actually not working so well. So as a quick snapshot, I look at this, and you might be able to see this yourselves, that, of course, this is 30th of March we're doing. It's been a rather eventful few weeks. And what I was able to look at across the whole of the global index is how quickly that, last week on these daily charts, price had rallied. After the collapse, price rallied back up, and I wanted to see how it was going to react at the 20 period moving average. And hopefully you can see that the 20 period moving average is the blue period moving average on my charts, and hopefully you can see there how across those major indices, global indices, price had all pretty much done the same. That gives me an indication that there's real correlation there. Okay, the algos are really working together. They're just basically following what's coming out of the US. That immediately starts to give me kind of a real quick snapshot of what the market market's looking like. Real quick ability to sort of just see, well, yeah, these markets are really quite nicely, closely correlated at the moment. So that allows me to sort of trade in alignment with that. I don't want to fight that, okay? I want to work with that, okay? So, you know, as I said, having profiles set up like this, and it's not very hard to do. I'll just show you, you know, what I've got here is in terms of, you know, let's just bring out the Dow Jones, okay? Is that, you know, I have that ability to sort of set up as a template, okay? How do I do it? Well, you know, at the very start, okay, you'd be looking at properties, okay? That's what you'd be looking at, and there you can start to fill in the details of how you particularly want your chart set up. People have very, very different particular views, okay? Some people like white charts, some like grey, some like dark, like blue, whatever is your particular pleasure. What I do talk about is, you know, I always want to see the period separators. I don't particularly need to see the ask line. I don't really particularly need to see the grid. You know, I'm using candlesticks. I want it to keep it quite clean, okay, quite clean, quite easy to see and use. So I have my properties on my chart, and then basically what I'll do is I'll add in, okay, so in this particular instance I have here just some fractals, some moving averages, okay, on this particular chart, and that's about it. It's a very simple template, okay? It's very simple, but this is what I want across all of my charts. So invariably what I can do is you can right click on the chart, template, okay, and then you can effectively either save the template, okay, so you know, if you're first time setting up, making sure you can save it, or perhaps you need to load it, okay, if you're opening a new chart. And so if I particularly look at, you know, if I want to open up an extra particular chart, so we're in the indices. So if I just look at the this Hang Seng, okay, well, that's the Hang Seng, okay, and that's how it comes up as a kind of default setting. That's not how I particularly want it, okay. What I want is, you know, I want just, you know, my normal simple setup. There we go. Just load the template up. Every template looks the same. That is actually really, you know, really quick, really helpful for me, and it gives me kind of consistency, okay. And as I said, I have templates for various different, you know, for whether I'm actually sort of looking for, you know, whether I'm doing sort of position trading or swing trading or intraday trading, or I'm looking at particular instruments, so that it actually all helps you, okay. So Vincenzo says on a chart window, place plus instrument name plus enter equals jump to the desired instrument. Nice touch there, Vincenzo, okay. Very nice touch. Plowman says simple is better. You're absolutely right, Plowman. Simple is always better. So, you know, once I have my templates up, now, you know, then, and I have them arranged, okay, like this, you can just use the window, okay, to basically to tile, okay, so that you can have it like that, then you can arrange it. Well, then, you know, once I've got all of my indices here like I want, well, then, you know, then I'm just effectively just looking to basically to go to my profiles button, and then I can just save as. And so, as I said, you can look down there at my list of profiles. So I have profiles for all of the major currencies, which we'll look at in a particular moment. I have a profile that's set up for intraday trading, Asian indices, Euro indices, US indices, okay. I also have profiles for indexes, equities, and also for commodities and crypto, as we just saw that. So I can very, very quickly maneuver myself to look at, you know, whatever it is I particularly want to sort of to see or to view, okay. I'm being much more efficient, and the great thing about MetaTrader is once you get this set up and you've saved it, well, every time you open up, okay, it's set up like this yourself, okay. So it just makes it quicker and faster and easier to just get on to get in sort of in almost like in alignment with the particular markets I'm looking at, because it helps me build my kind of simple routine, my simple kind of you know, simple sort of just checklist that I can just follow through. So if we have a look at let's have a look at, you know, one of the other profiles. So, you know, here we go. So this is a British pound, okay. So you know, as well as selecting it, you always get a reminder down here at the bottom. But what we can do is I'm just going to effectively I'm just going to put this into an intraday setups here, okay. So I'm just looking here at the kind of the 15-minute chart here, and let's have a look at it. Just move these around so we can look and we can see. Okay, so when I particularly look at here, okay, I have, this is my this is the euro against the sterling trade. Okay, so what I'm particularly interested in, or particularly looking at, is how, you know, I now have a template on here which has an intraday setup focus. So I know when I have the 15-minute chart, it's you know, I have tools that draw in my previous days, you know, highs and lows, my previous week's highs and lows, something that we've talked about in previous Trading Spotlight webinars. Go and check them out on the archive. I have, you know, I have plugins, okay, that allow me to effectively just to cloud out effectively particular sessions, whether it be the Asian session, whether it be the US session, whether it be the European session, depending on what I'm looking for, and it allows me to just, you know, allows me to look at my particular trade setups. So this morning, you know, when I'm particularly looking for you know, trade setups on the euro sterling, well, you know, what I can actually start to do is, when I see like a reversal pin bar here, remember what I was talking about, I can basically annotate my charts. So, you know, you've got a button here, okay, just to effectively annotate text, okay, and I can just put for the sake of it here, okay, I can just pin bar, I can just make sure a little tool is just put it on for the time frame that you're looking at. Otherwise, every time you zoom out, you've got lots of text over there, okay. But let's look at that, so 15 minutes. Just change that down to the 5 as well, as we're looking on. Here we go. So, you know, I can do that and move there, okay. And what I can also do is just, you know, just by basically selecting it and then sort of left mouse button and control, I can effectively, there we go, I can actually duplicate that in case I want to basically just, you know, make different text, okay. So just put in add on, okay, and here for this one, just quickly change it, put down text into target. Go. So that I'm able to actually just, you know, remind myself of where the trade, how it played out. And then, you know, what I want to do is I want to keep a picture of it. So, you know, as I said, if you right click on your chart, go down to save as picture. Now, here you go, here's an option. I only ever trade the active chart, okay? I don't need the active workspace, okay? I don't need to post the image online, okay? All I want to do is the middle one, active chart as is, okay? And I just want to save that, and then I can, as you can see, you know, I have lots and lots of different charts, and I can just literally just save myself my okay, chart there. So it'll effectively do that. You can see it'll pop up, it'll show me what I've kept there. And then that means I can, you know, take them before and after my trades, so that I'm starting to keep good records about my particular trades. I'm starting to actually help myself, all right? I'm starting to sort of, you know, help myself be the best trader I possibly can be. And, you know, what I'd be looking for is a case of, well, you know, as I said, just to finish off, is, you know, one I like to use is a kind of very simple fib tool here. So let's say that, you know, we've been trading this double bottom here, which we've missed. And what I want to do is to understand, you know, where my things, I'm just going to put it on a bigger one, actually, because it might just make it a bit easier for us to see on here. Let's have a look at, yeah, here we go. So for whatever example, I'm particularly looking at wanting to sort of trade this pin bar, okay? I feel that it's, you know, it's reached, when this pin bar is clear, it's reached its highs, okay? It's made a lower high. I think the price is going to roll over and away. And, you know, as I said, I want to use just the fib tool, okay? So you can see it there, that draw Fibonacci retracements there. Let me just move this over here. But actually, as you can see, is that, you know, as I draw that tool on, I have the ability to effectively just get the actual market values, the price values. That has just helped me enormously. And I'll show you how you can do it. If you right click, select the you know, select the line on the Fibonacci tool. Then if you go to properties, and then if you go to fib levels, so what you can see here is, you know, I have my particular levels in. So let's see here. So 261, okay. So what you key in is 261. Let's show you here, is 261, okay, whatever the particular level you want, space at space percent dollar, okay. If you use those, okay, space at space $dollar. Okay, if you put that in and add it, make sure you add it to your chart. Well, then what happens is when you next use that, is it actually will put in the price value for it. Okay, so as I said, that makes things just a little quicker, just a little slicker. Okay, I can very quickly just work out, right, what was the low there. Okay, 92.48.7. Okay, so I know for me, right, I'm going to be short two pips beneath that, 92.46. My level here, 93.85. I want my stop to be 5 above. So very, very quickly, I know, right, my entry's at 92.46, my stop is at 93.90. So I'm very quickly able to sort of work out my entries, where my entry is going to be, where my stop loss is going to be. If I want to go down to the 261 fib extension, right, bash, I know that the value of that is 90, is 90.28 in that particular case. So very quickly, I've just worked out my entry, my stop loss by target, which means that I can put that into the actual MetaTrader 4 platform and actually set up my trade very, very quick. And now I can do my position sizing properly because I know my entry, I know my exits, okay, for when I'm wrong, and my exit for when I'm right, and that trade is good and ready to go. Okay. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you find that a little bit useful, helpful. As I said, it's all about making your use of time much more efficient. And there is actually fantastic range of, even additional tools with MT4. And you'll find that, on the Trading Spotlight webinar series, my colleagues, Marcus and Jens, they've done some great ones on their own, little tools and techniques for using MT4 and also for getting the best out of the Admiral Markets Supreme Edition. I hope you found that useful. I hope you're all staying safe in these volatile times, and I look forward to speaking to you on the next session. And until then, trade well, ladies and gentlemen.